All right, folks, we're just sitting here. It's Jackson and I, and we decided that, you know what, we wanted to talk about some six personal perspectives. I know we throw it out there all the time, and sometimes we don't get really deep into it. But Jackson, really quick, what are the six personal perspectives?
So, from my knowledge, the six personal perspectives are as Gary and Jay, and as really just studies have shown, is that the most successful people in the world, as people were studying CEOs, top real estate agents, they came up with really a set of six perspectives or six characteristics that those most successful people all had, and they gave it to us in a beautiful format.
Yeah, I cheated here a little bit, and I've got the a little bit of a definition here, but you're dead on. Foundational perspectives to propel you to the highest level of achievement.
Yeah.
And so these are the things, like you said, that he went and looked out at the highest achievers and said, what are the things they're doing? And these are the six things. So the first one is you want to commit to self-mastery. What is self-mastery, Jackson?
I would just say it's that constant desire to be better. I think from what I have learned, being with this company for a long time, is that committing to self mastery is an endless journey. It is a desire that I am going to be good at this. I am going to nail this. I'm going to master this. Will you ever truly master something? I hope not. I hope that you are continuously on that journey, but it's a commitment that you are going to work as hard as you can to master it.
And because it is self-mastery, what we're really trying to do is we're trying to master ourself, right? I mean, there is mastery of things, whether it's a sport or it's a instrument or something along
Yeah.
those lines. And then there's self-mastery. And so some of the things that you're looking at is, hey, what are some strengths I have? What are some of the weaknesses I have? What goals do I want? And then working on them. And there's always this little saying that we have, right? Your business will only grow to the extent that you do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you master yourself, you most likely will master your business. So step number two is to commit to the 80-20 principle. And what is that, Jackson?
So I can try to give you the history lesson. I believe it was sometime in the 1800s. Vilfredo Pareto did a study of all the. I think it was like maybe crop yield in the country in Italy came from 80% of it came from 20% of the farms. It's something like that. Ultimately, what it's saying is that um, 80% of your results are going to come from 20% of your activities. Your main focus is those things that are most important in our world, in your real estate business, but truly in your life as well. Those core activities, that's where you're going to get most of your results from.
Yeah, I think they like to call them big rocks, right?
Yep.
So you focus on those big rocks. And one of the things that we've talked about before too is that this is the difference between doing business and busyness.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can stay busy all day long, but are we really doing the right thing? And that's what the
Yep.
80-20 principle is talking about, correct?
There's sometimes where I'll come back and I'll tell my girlfriend, hey, yeah, like I was busy all day. I was trying. I'm going for this fitness goal, and I was busy with it all day. What did I really do? I was vacuuming the house. I was cleaning. Was I busy? Yes. But did I get anywhere closer to my goal? No.
You got your steps in by going in a circle, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
So step number three is going from E to P. And what does E stand for?
That is going to be entrepreneurial. So that's
And then the P
that
stands
drive,
for.
that natural talent. The P is for purposeful.
All right. So what does that mean to go from entrepreneurial to purposeful?
So all of us have a certain level of talent in whatever we're doing. I for me personally, I played soccer in high school, and I rode my talent in soccer. Most likely, why I rode the bench most of the time as well. But if I truly decided that I want to be great at this sport, I would have had to change what I was doing and actually be intentional about learning certain skills, about like we said about the big rocks, about doing those big rocks and truly going from my talent has taken me to where I'm at to now I need to build systems and models into my life that are going to break me through whatever ceiling. We all have a natural ceiling. The most successful people in the world probably have a natural ceiling much lower than where they're actually at. What they've done is develop systems and models, tools that have broken them through the ceiling of their talent, and now they move up.
Yeah, one thing that somebody had mentioned to me in one of these classes was as far as using the E to P mindset in your personal life is what would it look like if every morning you and your significant other got up and had a cup of coffee together before anything else happened, and you just had that 10-15 minutes to yourself. Is that not being purposeful? And that way getting the day going, you're getting to going together. And I was like, wow, how would that change your relationship?
Absolutely. I
So
love
that's
it's almost
another
like
example of E to P. Yeah, that's
it's
another
like date
example of E
night.
to P in your life.
You hear
Yeah,
date night all the
exactly.
time. Like you know, you're already in a relationship. Why do you need to be going on date nights all the time? Well, date night is moving from E to P.
Sure. And let's not make date night where we go to the movie theater. We don't have to talk to anybody.
Hey, that
Uh,
Spider-Man movie though got through.
yeah, I get you. I get you. Maybe some dinner beforehand or after.
Mhm.
So step number, I guess we're at step number 4 now, and
Mhm.
that is, I'm sorry, it's being learning based the foundation of your action plan. And so we talked about self mastery before. How is being learning based different from that, and what is that?
So I would say making being learning based part of your action plan means you've got to be open to learning. On this path to self mastery, you've got to be open to the fact that I don't know it all. And not only do you have to be open to it, you then have to pursue it. So you have to pursue those things that you don't know what you don't know. You move into a okay, now I know what I don't know, and now I'm going to pursue that knowledge.
So do you think that being learning based too is actually maybe even taking things over and over and over again to help self master that or master that stuff?
I love so one of the classes that we have here at our here at Keller Williams is bold, and I always love going into those bolds where you see the top producers in the market at there and at bold at that class, and you ask them, oh, like you're doing hundreds of maybe even thousands sometimes of transactions in a year. Why do you need to be at this class? And they say, this is the 13th time that I've taken it, and I will take it 14 and I will take it 15. That's that drive for continuing. You always know there's something else out there.
Thank you for that. And number 5 then is remove your limiting beliefs. And so what is a limiting belief and how do you remove it?
I'd say a limiting belief is just something, a thought that goes through your head of why you aren't going to be able to do something, why something is not possible. Maybe in some cases why you don't deserve a certain piece of success, or why it's just not in the cards for you. And removing that, we talk about 80-20 move from E to P. All of these things you have to be intentional about. Removing your limiting beliefs, you have to be intentional about as well. A limiting belief is most likely if I say I want to be able to jump over this desk right now. My first thought is going to be, okay, well, you've gained too much weight to be able to do that. You can't jump as high as you used to. Removing that limiting belief would be, okay, there are things that I need to do. Can I do it? Yes. Can I do it now? Most likely not. I might hurt myself. But there are things that I can do to get me there. That's that belief that, all right, I can do it. Maybe I just can't do it now. Or maybe there's something that I need to gain in my life to be able to.
And then we could go back to the first 4 things, right? You need to be learning based. What do I need to do? You
Mm-hmm.
need to do the 80-20, right? You
Yep.
need to go from E to P and get purposeful with it.
Weird
So
how all that works.
yeah, exactly. And the other thing is too with removing limiting beliefs, they're real, by the way, folks. These are some things that you may have call reluctance, or people don't like me, or whatever. I've got that little guy. Well, he's over here. That way, that little guy behind me there, that little monkey that sits on my shoulder, and he's
Mhm.
sitting right there actually, and he's whispering in your ear and telling you these things. And this is where courage comes in. Courage is just doing something, with the presence of fear. It doesn't have to be courage isn't always running into a burning building. It's doing something that again that we don't want to do or that we fear. So this is again when we talk about courage, remove that limiting belief. That's how you do it. You do it when you're scared. So just do it when you're scared and move ahead. The last one that
I
we
love
got
that.
here, number 6.
Hang on, if
Oh,
you don't mind, I don't know if you remember this, but we actually learned recently, and I'll be short with this, but we learned recently, or someone asked the question, what of your own limiting beliefs are you putting on to others? So when we have these limiting beliefs and they set us back, if we have to make sure we're not allowing ourselves to be limited by them, but that we're also not putting those on to others. And I love that when you have the opportunity to work as a team to remove limiting beliefs, a limiting belief that you have, there are probably thousands of other people that have it as well. Working together to remove those is really powerful.
Yeah, like I said, working together, because then there's power in numbers, right? There's power in
Absolutely.
numbers. So we're on to number 6 here, the last one, and not the only one, I guess. We got the other 5 ahead of this, but the last one is be accountable. And what does that mean, Jackson? What are we talking about when we're being accountable?
Yuck. It's the worst. It is just owning every single part of not only the 6 personal perspectives, but everything that you do in your life, your habits, your activities, your results, just owning it. It's our least favorite.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's why they saved it for last, right? They put that at number 1. I think a lot of people would have walked away. Uh,
Uh-huh.
so sometimes when we're not being accountable, they like to say that we're being a victim. And so what does being a victim sound like, Jackson? What does that maybe look like?
If you were to come to me and say that something didn't get done, and I say, well, that was somebody else's fault. I tried to do it, but this person didn't get back to me. I tried to do it. I just it's just not in the cards for me. It's not my it's not my time. Anything like that. It's that idea that you don't have control over an outcome. That it's somebody else's fault. It's not on me.
Right. Exactly. And so the opposite of that is doing those opposite things, right? It didn't get done. The reason why it didn't get done is because I didn't do it.
Hmm.
And the reason why this didn't happen is because I didn't explain it well enough. It wasn't because that person, wasn't smart enough, or whatever we want to make that, whatever story we make up.
Yeah.
And the other thing is too is that the big one, I think too, like you were just touching on there, is that a person who is not accountable waits for things to happen to them. And the fact of the matter is that you can make life happen, and life doesn't happen to you. You make it happen for yourself. And so that's one of the things about being accountable. It's a completely different mindset, correct?
I love that. I love that. I think you're absolutely right. I've never heard it put that way. I think that's powerful.
Well, we just did a real quick rundown here of these of the 6 personal perspectives. Look for a class here coming up in the near future, because there's a workbook, and we really break this down and get into it. And if people wanted to sit down and just start having this conversation with you, Jackson, how can they get in touch with you?
So feel free to reach out to me on my cell phone. It's 828-400-4462. And that's actually I have a business number and a personal number. That's my personal number. If anyone wants to reach out about the 6 personal perspectives, I want to give them my personal number. Then my email is jacksoncease@kw.com. And truly, if this is something that spoke to you, I absolutely love to have a conversation about anybody with this, because this you build these into your lives, and you'll see change almost immediately.
Yeah, and again, this is something that you can use in your personal life. You can use it in your business life. You could use it, if you're working at a church or working at another organization. This can be implemented anywhere. And the other thing is too is that even with your family, I see now I'm starting to do this even with my 8-year-old in particular. Is especially this last part here with being a victim. Because of course that's where the kids sometimes want to go, and it's like, no, 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 you're in control of this. You can stop this. You don't have
Yeah.
to feed this way. So that's one of the things I love about KW, is like you mentioned, bold, this class, the MREA, the shift tactics, and some of the other classes that we take in coaches skills camp, you name it. We talk a lot about this and what this thing is doing for us or against us.
Yeah.
So again, reach out to Jackson. Come by for a training if you'd like. It's free to anybody. My number again is 919-210-9512. Give either one of us a call and we'll just have a chat with you. Jackson, is there anything else you'd like to add before we go?
I think what you just said there was, again, I say really powerful. I think a lot of what we learn, I always hear it from you. You hear it from me. I wish I had heard this when I was 20. I wish had heard this when I was 18. I think it's cool that Livia and Hayes get the opportunity. I mean, because of what you've learned with Keller Williams, they get to hear it when they're 8. They get to hear it when they're 5. They get to hear, and it probably won't make sense to them right now. It's probably going to be annoying to them right now, but how far ahead, how different their thinking is going to be, I think is really cool.
Well, because it's their dad too, they don't want to listen to me. I probably need you to go out and teach it, right? You
All
go out and
right, hey,
say,
you're never a
"Oh my
prophet in
goodness,
your
that
own land.
Jackson
You put
guy,
me in there.
that Jackson guy is smart."
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching, folks. And again, any questions you have, reach out to us. All right, have a good day.
See ya.